So this afternoon we will have a first workshop about onboarding, and by onboarding it's how is the federation, how is going the federation, how many structures, and also presenting some initiatives we have in our federation. So I won't be speaking all the afternoon. And I will just start with an introduction on where we are and give the speech to some other people. So right now the CoopCycle network is composed of 57 structures all around Europe, and we also have some in Quebec, Canada, and Mexico, and Colombia. And we also have a small here in Ghana that joined us this year. It's I didn't find the good numbers, so I didn't want to put them. But what is nice to have is that now the food delivery services, that was the core of the creation of CoopCycle, is now only representing 25% of the structures work. And we are nearly all doing local commerce, but I'm kind of sure we're all doing a part of it, but it's not what I had in numbers. And almost half of us are doing last mile delivery. So it also gives us a lot of information on what to develop in terms of platform dev, and also on commercial activities we can have, or even interest interest work we could do as a federation. I didn't realize it, but when we calculated, I realized that since the last GA, we onboard 22 new structures inside CoopCycle. So it's a lot of them, and we welcome them warmly. Most of them, some of them was already in the federation a while ago, like Crow that came back to us a few months ago. There was also Vélo Connect from Besançon that went at the beginning of CoopCycle and came back to us this year. And so we had a lot of them coming because of Erasmus Plus program, because it was this program, to just summarize it, was a mentorship program to train cooperative to have new skills. And it was about 32 structures onboarded, mentored on 2 years. And so most of there, like CoopCycle, Granolers, Cyclebude, for example, were part of the Erasmus program and are now part of the federation. So yeah, and Barry Expressen that supported us for a long time, but are now in the cooperative and in the federation, I mean. Quickly, to get back to what I was saying a bit before, onboarding, what is it? It's 3 different types of work. It's mentoring, training, and animation. By mentoring, I mean administrative follow-up, being helping structures to deal with some knowledge they perhaps don't have, because we're a federation, we have some expertise. It can be one person from the coordination team, but it can also be another person from another cooperative that could help someone else. Also working on an economic model to help the person find the good information to make, for example, appeal for loan or something. And also specific platform dev, for example, for a cooperative that needs to take the example of Mexico that need, or Latin America that need Mercapado, Pago.
Mercapado is for Latin America, but also like the map picker.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mexico and also Ghana.
Okay. So specific tools that can be needed by certain people, so we can do certain developments regarding their needs, and if it's possible to do it quickly also, for example. Training is more about having new skills, mostly about governance, commercial activity, what I said, HR stuff, and of course the exchange of practice we all have. And animation is about annual meeting, online presentation, in physical presentation, but also sharing docs, sharing sheets, sharing sheets with 2E, and sharing studies, for example, when there's, so we can all have more insights on the bike logistic world and sector. But as we are gaining a more international level, we also lose a bit of an expertise. Because, for example, at the beginning, CoopCycle was a French association. We were only in France or even in Paris at the really beginning. And we have this, because we tried for 7 or 8 years a lot of stuff in France, we have some expertise about what we can do. And the idea is that we want to duplicate what we tried in other country, but then there's another laws and another things that we perhaps don't know about. And there is the efficiency of the network, so we can gain in expertise, or even this person can be in charge of helping structures in their own country because they have the expertise on their own. And it's something to study quickly the French network. It's something that was proven. Like we tried from 1 year ago, we tried to make some commercial activities in France, and it's working. It's still not like efficient because it's still a beginning, and we didn't put so much time on it. But we tried and find ways to gather new clients on a national level with better price deal. Because we were 27 structures in France to be able to be in once for one client's needs. So this is something that we tried. Also with institutional networking or even grant monitoring, where because we are in France, we know France, so we know how it works, and we found a way to make a lot of grants in France, and it's something, a way of organizing our work, so we can now duplicate it to another country, and it's already done, but it was just a case study. And yeah, so the actual needs and of CoopCycle onboarding is not only about finding people that can go in the federation, but how we can organize our work to be to have more expertise area in their specific countries, and how to organize in one country a small network of local cooperative or structures that can work together to visualize their work and be able of having more skills in their local level, at their local level. And to show you a bit what it's possible, we try to we have some inside initiatives that worked or not about networking at a local or regional level that will be presented to you today. So we have a first presentation of Some Ecologistica, that is a Catalonian federation of cooperative of bike logistics. So it's a federation that is near Barcelona or around Barcelona right now. There is another bigger, wider association of cooperative of bike logistics in Spain that that was just created months ago, thanks to grants that provide them money to do the work and be able to make this possible. There's also here an example that Kamena will present us, and there is a small film on female bike messenger in Mexico City. And finally, we will talk about ABC Collective. ABC Collective. That is a collective of German projects and structures, collectives, that Jérôme will present us. And the idea is after to talk again about what we could do. And so if Some Ecologistica can come to present and to present the project. Are you speaking Spanish or English?
Catalán.
Yo hablo en castellano.
Castellano?
Spanish. I'll try in English, and if
Yeah,
I
props.
make a big mess, just raise your hands, and I will change to Spanish or Catalan, whatever you want.
Perfect.
Yo no.
No, tú técnico.
Bueno, Some ecologistica, perdón.
No, just take this.
Me espero.
En anglais.
You're going to do it in Spanish? I think in some, so if you need translation in French or English, because it will be in Spanish, so you can go to the Telegram channel for it. Where you have it?
Yo voy a ir mirando la...
Well, it's,
La presentació, perquè aquí no la puc obrir. Vale.
¿Quiénes somos? Mira, cuántas hay.
Oh yeah, for to be translated in Spanish, in English, you need to go on the Spanish channel. And for French on the French one.
¿Tú vas saltando?
Yo no voy a saltar. ¿Te lo salto yo o no?
No sé.
Yeah, we just
To
organize.
pass the slide.
Yeah, you can just. I can do it or you do it.
Ah, ok.
Vengo aquí. Todos vemos. Sí, ¿lo tenemos? Vale. Bueno, buenos días a todas. Os explico un poquito de qué trata Some Ecologistica. Some Ecologistica es una cooperativa de servicios. Es una figura de cooperativas que hay en... ¿Ok? Como decía, Some Ecologistica es una cooperativa de servicios, que es una figura cooperativa que hay en España. Esta cooperativa nace de un proyecto. De una subvención que se llama Proyectos Singulars, y es como el resultante de este proyecto. Este proyecto queda como parado durante unos años, y a medida que pasa la pandemia, etcétera, pues van surgiendo nuevas cooperativas y nuevas iniciativas de ciclologística en Cataluña. En este momento somos 11 cooperativas, ¿de acuerdo? Que las teníamos aquí arriba. Las Mercedes, l'Enbici, la Sarria, Mensacas, Biciclot. Bueno, todas estas que veis aquí están repartidas entre Barcelona y su área metropolitana, sobre todo, y la segunda corona de este área metropolitana de Barcelona. Como veis, todas estas... Aquí en 21 entramos, digamos, todas las cooperativas nuevas en el Consejo Rector, y nos vamos asociando y vamos haciendo diferentes servicios entre nosotras con tal de mejorar nuestra actividad, ¿no? Nos damos cuenta que entre todas, ofreciéndonos estos servicios de unas cooperativas a otras, pues nos ayuda a acercarnos a la viabilidad económica, porque, bueno, no es nuevo que hay proyectos muy frágiles. Entonces esto nos ayuda a tener este crecimiento ecosistémico del sector en Cataluña. Tírale tú un poco.
Ahora yo.
Un poquillo, ¿no?
No. Let's try it, yeah? So as Raúl said, so we are 11 COPs now. We are not competitors because we are all in our cities, unless the guys and Mensacas y las Mercedes in Barcelona. but they are not competitors either. So they are working together. So what has bring us this initiative, this working together as in a higher level cooperative, is that we can achieve other goals or more important or other services that alone would not be possible. Okay. Here we brought some examples that we have done since we started as a cycle logistics service cooperative. Okay, so we have here. So we have achieved a last mile contracts with big logistics companies in Barcelona. So Las Mercedes and Mensacas, instead of say, okay, let's put a lot of people in our cooperative, we keep all the postal codes. So they share the different postal codes, so we can, as Some Ecologistica, give the image that we are able to work with a bigger amount of parcels. Okay, so it helps us to make a change in the scale we were working before. Okay. Also, in terms of intercooperation, working all together, in our case, in Sabadell, we have made a new space called Calabici, shared with one of the cooperatives working in Some Ecologistica also. So it allows us to have a hub, but also allow Biciclot to have a space to train bicycle mechanics. Okay? It's a very big space, and it's really nice to share it, because it would be impossible for each of us to do it or to stay there alone. Okay. Another thing which is, I would say, much more important. Have you heard about Mensacas? Yeah, more or less. Huh? Nuri, it's your. So they had a fire in their hub. It was completely destroyed, and if we hadn't been together, probably they would have closed. Okay, so being together means that the day after the fire, they were able to continue working, not at 100%, but working, perhaps 70, 75%, more or less. The third day, they were 90. Okay, 80, 90% of activity was recovered in only 24 hours, and the third day they were 100%. Okay, how we did that? So we were all there, and they had new equipment, new bikes, new how you call it, los carros? Trailers, etc. So also with other cooperatives in Barcelona, they shared their space with Mensaca, so they could continue the activity, I would say, as normal as possible, because they were not in their place and all the problems that brought the fire. Okay? ¿Le das tú? Dale, Manolo.
Vale, o más ejemplos de los que podemos tener en esta intercooperación son, por ejemplo, la estrategia conjunta en cuanto a la comercialización. Como decía un poco Aubin antes, en caso de Francia, bueno, pues esto nos permite poder ir a clientes más grandes a ofrecerle un servicio con una implantación territorial mucho más grande, ¿no? Una de las cosas más importantes, a mi parecer, no sé si los compañeros y compañeras de Some Ecologistica, la gestión administrativa ha sido un avance, creo que total, en cuanto a la actividad diaria, ¿no?, de nuestras cooperativas. A través de estos servicios hemos podido liberar una persona que forma parte del equipo técnico de Some Ecologistica para poder hacer toda la gestión contable y de todas las cooperativas. A través de Odoo tenemos una persona liberada para poder encargarse de todo esto. Entonces, esto la verdad es que primero nos libera muchísimo de trabajo a las cooperativas locales y de otra forma, pues tenemos como una contabilidad mucho más analítica, porque es una persona que puede dedicarse mucho tiempo, cosa que en las cooperativas locales, pues al final el día a día nos atropella, ¿no? Y pues esto es, yo creo que uno de los mejores servicios que hemos podido mancomunar. La siguiente es una flota de bicicletas. A través de también otra subvención pudimos hacer una inversión de una flota de bicicletas de Som Ecologística para ofrecer un servicio de leasing a las cooperativas locales. Por si una cooperativa local empieza con un nuevo cliente, no tenga que hacer una inversión en un vehículo nuevo, pues antes de ver económicamente si este cliente pues podía ser viable, ¿no? Pues tener este servicio de alquiler o de renting de flota, sean triciclos, bullies, omniums o remolques. Otra parte más muy interesante es pues la intercooperación a nivel agroecológico de productos. Hemos hecho una prueba piloto para la interconexión de nodos de todas las cooperativas, intentar con este producto agroecológico acercarlo a Barcelona, que es como el gran consumidor en nuestra área. A través también de otra cooperativa, Som Mobilitat, de car sharing, hemos podido hacer eso, una prueba piloto para probar cómo sería la logística entre nuestros propios nodos, para tener como un alcance mayor y una mayor capilaridad dentro del territorio. Otra intercooperación a nivel ya como externa entre dos cooperativas con otra cooperativa de vivienda ha sido pues poder proveerles de bicicletas de carga para todas las personas cooperativistas que vivían en estos edificios cooperativos. Y esta última, claro, muchas de nosotras no tenemos solo una línea de negocio, sino tenemos varias, y una de ellas, y muy importante, es la formación. Nos dedicamos a la formación a personas para aprender a ir en bici, ya sea a escolares o a personas adultas. Y en este caso, pues hemos hecho esta intercooperación porque no tenemos una plantilla suficientemente grande cada cooperativa como para soportar como todas las líneas, y al final pues si sale una formación en un colegio, pues tenemos diferentes equipos en las diferentes cooperativas que están formadas para hacer este trabajo. Por tanto, hemos configurado un calendario conjunto para ir poniendo todas las formaciones y ir trabajando, o sea, ofreciendo servicios a las otras cooperativas cuando tienen esta necesidad.
When Oban asked us to prepare something to share with you, one of the things he said was, you can talk also about the advantages and disadvantages of working all together in a higher level cooperative or something like this. And as you see, we haven't said anything about advantages or disadvantages, because it's difficult to find disadvantages. Okay? So, of course, you all know, or we all know, how difficult it is to work with a lot of people, when you have to agree, when you have to achieve common goals, when you have to develop a new project all together. There are always tensions, there are always discussions, there are always, probably it's longer to achieve an agreement and to start the real work, but at the end, the result after 4 years, working at the beginning for free because we had no money, we were just putting our hours of our private life to develop the project, then getting some grants and starting to create this technical staff, which really helps us, and also with these grants to buy the fleet, etc. So at the end, all these disadvantages, I wouldn't say disadvantages, but these longer things that you have to do to achieve agreements brought us to all these actions in 4 years, which it seems nothing, but it's a lot. I mean, when you are working every day, you do not realize what you're doing normally. But when you stop and you have the time to stop and look back and say, what have we done? What have we achieved? It's quite a lot, I would say. And we really, it was a really engaging project that we have enjoyed and suffered doing it. But I think it has been really worth to spend all our time and perhaps also some of our money and public money, but this was just given, on this. Yeah, and we all think that it has made all of us stronger. I mean, this structure has allowed that some cooperatives do not close. If we have shared the money, well, I mean, I think it's the only way we can survive, at least in Barcelona or Barcelona in Catalonia. So alone, if you have a problem, you are completely lost. ¿Sí?
Sí. Una cosa que igual no hemos dicho que es muy importante es como llorar las penas juntas. De levantar el teléfono y dice, estoy en la mierda, me pasa esto, me pasa lo otro, y bueno, y encontrar como este espacio entre a mí también me pasa, estamos hasta aquí, no llegamos a nada. Bueno, pues también es como esta manera de hacer conjunto, ¿no? Cuando decimos como que es muy importante poner los cuidados en el centro, ¿no? Porque pues realmente es esto, ¿no? El poder levantar el teléfono y decir, no puedo más. Y venga, va, pues como entre todos a como ayudarnos ese poquito, ¿no? Decir, venga, ánimo, que no pasa nada, ¿qué tal? Pues es como una de las cosas también más gratificantes que quizás que nos llevamos de este proceso.
We have this business structure and also this emotional structure, which is, I would say, even more important. And I would say, that's all. Or no?
No sé si hay más.
Pip. Thank you.
Y no sé, cualquier cosa, si no sale ahora, si sale después, cualquier cosa que pregunta, cuestión, que estamos aquí y David estará encantado de responderos.
I've got one question before perhaps another one. You talk about local grants and time you gave to the project, but did you also add like an economic model now in place to fund all this work you're doing, or the work you're having, if we are talking about commercial activities, for example?
Yes and no. So we still need public grants to keep the technical team. But on the other side, we have these contracts with big logistics that part of the money that is invoiced is remaining in the cooperative. So it's a way of also to finance or to fund the cooperative. And there is this thing of administration and accountability management, which has been internalized. And this is a way also of funding the cooperative. So we are paying what we were paying to an external company. We are paying it to Some Ecologistica. So part of the salary of the person who is doing that is covered by what we were expending outside. We are spending inside. No? But anyhow, Some Ecologistica still needs public grants to work or to continue. Which is another thing, which is not a problem. So the most funded companies with public funds are automotive companies and airports. So we do not have any problem to receive 10,000, 15,000 or 20,000 euro from the government. You will always say, hey, you're with the bike, you are all funded by public money. No. Your money, what you are paying, your taxes are going to really big industries. So we get like this, nothing. And we have to use them. It's our money. And we are doing a good thing, not putting cars in the street.
Y no solo a nivel SOM Ecologística pedimos estas subvenciones, sino a nivel local, las cooperativas locales también pedimos subvenciones. Entonces, es una manera también de ir soportando esta estructura. Porque yo tengo una subvención, pues sé que SOM Ecologística me puede proveer de unos servicios y de esa subvención que ganamos a nivel local, pues también aportamos no solo por una cuota, sino por sostener la cooperativa, ¿no?
I'm sorry, maybe you already say it, but I think I not understand well. SOM Ecologística is a cooperative.
Yeah.
And then in this cooperative, there is 11 cooperative inside.
Yeah.
And you share, for example, local space? No.
No.
Some of them are sharing space?
Two of them, for example, we are sharing, in our case, we are sharing a space with one of the cooperatives.
Yeah.
They are members or are partners in the big cooperative, SOM Ecologística, but there's no need because we are all in different cities.
Okay.
So, there are different kinds of cooperatives. So we have the work associated, associated work cooperative, which is what we are or what the Mensadas are. And then you can create what we call second-degree cooperatives, which are also different. So a second-degree cooperative is one thing, but in case of SOM Ecologística, it's a service cooperative. So there are cooperatives which receive services from this, I would say, umbrella, which keeps us all under. Yeah?
But as is it like a SIC in France or not? No? Coopérative d'intérêt?
Non, coopérative de fait consommation. C'est non pas une coopérative d'intérêt.
Ok.
C'est pour le public. Hein? Ouais, plutôt un GIE en fait.
GIE?
Un groupement d'intérêt économique.
Okay. And
Mais c'est pas coopérative.
En este, por contextualizar un poquito, en este momento, desde SOM Ecologística tenemos el debate, o hemos abierto el debate, porque ahora no solo estamos ofreciéndonos servicios entre nosotras, sino que entre nosotras estamos ofreciendo servicios a terceros. Por lo tanto, ahora el modelo de cooperativa se supone que ahora ya no solo es una cooperativa de servicios, sino que sería una cooperativa, en este caso, de segundo grado. ¿Vale? ¿Por qué? Porque estamos, aparte de estos servicios que nos ofrecemos entre nosotras, estamos ofreciendo servicios a terceras empresas.
Sí. For example, when you say that you share someone who is doing the administration, like one people is paid by your cooperative, by SOM Ecologística.
When we share people between
No, the one who does.
Yeah. So
El equipo técnico.
yeah, one of the things that we had clear since the very beginning is that after spending lots of hours or investing lots of hours on the project, we needed to get free, or we needed to get liberated of that. Yeah. Oh, hello. Yeah. And yeah. So we had it really clear that the money we were getting from the public funds, part of it or most of it should go to have a technical team which gave us all the support and lead all the projects, because we were just filled up with our daily work. And one of the things of Alma, for example, Alma is a specialist on accountability and things like that, and she said, I'm able to give the service to all the cooperatives, and we said, that's good. So what we are paying to an external company, now we are paying to SOM Ecologística. So part of her salary comes from the internal cooperatives paying the service of administrative tasks.
Okay, for all the cooperative then.
Yeah. So now I think we are 8 cooperatives out of the 11 which have internalized this service, and which is really good because it also gives us the idea to offer this service to other companies out of the cooperative.
Okay, cool.
Because it's a very specific sector, and she knows very well our special things that we need, what we do not need. So it's a service really focused on cycle logistics, no? Knowing all the needs, etc.
Okay, thank you.
And now we will present the work of CoopCycle ES, Red de Cooperativa de Ciclologística, that Remy Aori is going to present.
Sí, pero él es coordinadora. Él es coordinadora. Faut faire comment? Faire comme ça?
A ver, puedes poner la
Ah putain, merde. C'est bon là? Ouais.
¿Y puedes pasar la lista?
Hein?
¿Tú puedes pasar la...?
Ouais. Comment? Ah ouais? Oh là, mille. Ok. Si, ça marche. Ah ouais? Ouais, ça marche.
Ponle la primera.
Et ça? So, we start in Spain a new project this year, and it's the same like present Raúl and David, but in the state of Spain. So, his name Cooperative Network of Cycle Logistics. So the context of this project was in Spain, the psychologistic is very precarious. Like, for example, for one pocket in Spain, the company receive €1.5, for example. So it's like very precarious. Very low.
Income.
Yeah. Yes. So after we don't have association in the state to represent cycle logistic. In France you have, and in Belgium there is. So for example, after the other context, and we are very small and very, very weak. So we have the same diagnostic like in Catalonia. We need to be together to be strong. So the context is in Grenoble, in JA of 2023. We get a beer in the bar, and we talk about what kind of stuff we can do to be together. But we say, but we need time, and we don't have time because we have a lot of work in our cooperative. So we need a grant, and this is the first context. And after, yes, and we vote in this GA the possibility to create sub-federation of, so it's the beginning of the discussion, so 2 years ago. And January 2024, we received a notification about the grants for strategic project for economic recovery and transformation focused in social economy. And in these grants, we had creation of network. So it's for us. So we start, and CoopCycle coordinated the project, the presentation of project, and impulsed the idea, because the person, bueno, the cooperative didn't have time, but CoopCycle, la ganas. Y les reclus, no se dice, recluses, human resources to present it. So the objective is for you. It's for you, this.
So I need to speak. Okay.
Yeah, do you have to speak this? No?
Okay. Okay, so you basically wrote the grant with more people like Dorleta, and we got the
Yes.
grant.
Yes. True. Yes.
It's important to say that we got it.
We can see.
Okay.
Yes.
And so the goals of this is basically, like to build like a state network, like a Spanish state network between all the cooperatives or that are like ours, like courier cooperatives. Also to mutualize the resources and the knowledge and tools that we have. And the third will is to promote gender equality as we are already doing somehow. And a ver, dale a la siguiente. Okay, so for now, these are the members. Like, the more are missing. Like, these are the members from the PERTE grant. That doesn't mean that these are going to be just the partners of this Spanish network, but these are the partners that were included in the grant when we start doing it. Also, we already talked with some of them, like Rayoners and La Flecha, that is in Valencia. And a ver, dale. Bueno, dale para adelante. Yeah, sorry. Like we recycle a previous PowerPoint, so it's something. Yeah. No, pues aquí está. Okay. Yeah, so for now we are located in this region. Like no, and also Zaragoza. But the Zaragoza point is missing. Okay. No. So we are like basically people from Euskal Herria, Basque Country, people from not people. Sorry, like entities, collectives from Euskal Herria, from Catalunya, from Zaragoza, and from Valencia. It seems. Okay, dale. Okay, a ver, quita la cabeza, que es que no veo. Okay, another another important point of what we are doing is about governance and sustainability. Like also like there's not so much difference about what we are trying to do and what Somos Ecologistica already did. We want to promote like democratic self-governance and as well in our spaces, like in this project that we are doing, and also like with a professional point of view. Like we are professionals and we just want to apply what we are sharing in our like spaces, like economy solidarity spaces as well, and put it all together in like a common network, Spanish common network. Okay, dale para adelante. Also, gender equality. So the project also, sorry, I'm a bit tired because of, the 2 previous days. One of the things that we, because we didn't explain how much about how the project for now is consistent. So the original grant that we designed, or that was designed, consisted in a couple of activities that not directly benefit the constitution of the network, but it benefit, like for example, like development benefit the CoopCycle software, or what we are doing with the gender equality plan benefit to also like what we were doing like yesterday. So we started a couple of activities that even let us like ensure the creation of this new association. It does like we are really in the beginning of this. It's not that we are already like a strong entity, I would say. No, so this is the point that we are now. We did a couple of events, and the project is not finished because issues of the government of Spain, but it will end the end of September. So there's also like a couple of things that we need to do, but this project also as a democratic self-governance and a gender perspective and how do you say it? Plan de igualdad, like equity plan, equality plan. The other, and also to promote the development of the software of CoopCycle. It has and other activities like branding, marketing, and things that make real the creation of this and the existence of this network. And yes, I don't know what to say.
Yes.
Do you want to say?
Ouais. Comment se pronuncia strengthening? Strengthening. So the impact, the expected impact of this association, we want comment tu prononces? Strengthening. Strengthening local bicycle delivery cooperative. So to be together to be strong. After, yes, the big objective is to representing the sector of psychologistic in state of Spain because this is very ambitious, but to influence some law, maybe, and influence some lobbying with cities, with institutional public. So
I mean, the goal with this is not that we believe in the concept of the Spanish state, is we believe on creating like a strategic association about to get some benefits to strategic institutions. It's like, okay, like the Catalans made their own network because it was strategic for them, or I don't know, maybe people from Zaragoza or Aragon or another region will organize themselves to have like a strategic benefit from. But like what we are trying to do is like get organized in all the levels that we think are strategic and to get some benefit in the future if it's needed or not, or just to be organized if it's the case.
Está bien. Yes, so to impact finally is to have structure stronger and so creating decent local accessible environment because now we are so precarious in my cooperative, for example. And so, in this experience, we want to be example for the social and solidarity economy in the States, and not only in the States, maybe for the network of CoopCycle, it will be maybe. Our experience will be llevar, to bring some example for other country, other region, other network, and the big challenge now we have association with objective, but we don't have money, so now we have to find the money, and we
continue doing what we are doing.
Yes.
Yes, as Remy was saying, like we are in the beginning of creating something. So like this is a very recent thing. It's not that we are like very developed for the moment.
Yeah.
Also, es que quería decir algo, pero se me ha olvidado.
Okay. Okay, we are at the beginning, so.
Okay, another thing I wanted to say is, even that this project or this idea came from CoopCycle, the idea is not really to identify ourselves as CoopCycle Spain. It is true that the cooperatives and the entities that are part from CoopCycle, like the Spanish entities, are going to be in this network, but also the aim is to, to have other cooperatives that don't necessarily belong to CoopCycle. So it's like, okay, CoopCycle is going to be involved, but the aim of this association, or what we have decided, is is not just CoopCycle, and also this is the reason because it has another name.
Yeah.
But the truth is, all the Spanish entities is of CoopCycle are part of this. So this is like a big difference.
Yes, it's true. It's a way to onboarding new structure for CoopCycle, because maybe if you have a lot new clients for the network, maybe a structure cooperative of other city outside of CoopCycle will be interested for this plan, maybe to go in the federation after. So, for example, Flecha in Valencia, they are not in the federation, but we are so close. So maybe in the next weeks we will be part of federation. Bueno, we cross the finger.
Yeah, like there's also like major opportunity to get onboarding people also because of this, if they want to be on board in CoopCycle.
Yes, and in Spain we don't have a lot of structure of psychologistic, maybe 30 structure of psychologistic, and so we are poco. Few. Thanks.
Okay.
Any question?
My question is what is the difference or relationship or positioning in between some logistica and some ecologistica and your RED, so your network?
The regional level. Like
some ecologistica is a member of the RED. It is like another level.
No, it's not like we are like a pyramid. It's more like it will be very funny. No, it's more like what is the strategy? Like what is the goal? Like some ecologistica, the goal is to get some benefits or to organize the cooperatives that belongs to Catalonia and that are affected for the same laws in Catalonia, the same market in Catalonia. So for us, it's like, okay, we also are affected by the Spain state or Spain government. So this network aims to find like mutual things that affects all of us just because we are part of Spain, you know. So it's like more like, but for us, it's not like, okay, here's Spain and then Catalonia and Euskal Herria. No. It's like, okay, you have like a special need because you live in Catalonia, and it makes more sense to organize yourself in a regional way. But there are like some grants that are national, and then we want to be strategic, and all of us gather to apply for this. But we are not like encouraging to follow the same hierarchy that we have nowadays.
And is
Yeah.
see, it's yes, in Spain you have a lot of
Regions.
region autonomy, and so you can get some grants, regional grants.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And for example, I have grants for my autonomy, from my region, in Euskal Herria too, in Catalonia too, in Andalusia too. So it's the context socio-territorial
So
impact this.
Yeah, so the like Spain is organized in a way that the administrative, a lot of administration, even laws, it depends on different deals that the regions, comunidades autónomas, this is how we call them, have with the major or the central state. So, yeah, so some regions have even their own law, like Catalonia, I think they really own law that is different from the Spanish one. So this is the reason of this is strategic thing. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi again, I'm Kamena. were in the 2 days ago, so I'm going to say things that I said before. So I think that it's important to have a background about this video, because this video I made it when I was living in Mexico City. I studied biology there, and I lived there 10 years, and in that year, 2017, I decided to make or create the first courier in the state of Veracruz. So I went to Jalapa, and this is the capital of the state, when the government has more decisions, make more decisions about mobility, transport stuff, and that's why strategically I went there. But well, we went in Jalapa 5 years. I was the founder, I was alone, and I was tired, so I was deciding to close Libelubike, but unfortunately, I have 3 partners now in Puerto Veracruz, so I take año sabático, sabbatic year, something like that, and that's why I returned to Puerto de Veracruz now with this new team to start to build this like a cooperative mode of organization, something like that. So I want to share some thoughts, because I'm looking that despite we are a colonized country, we have a different, we have like the same problems in the organization, in the way to take decisions, and I want to share that I was feeling alone because I have ways to work more cooperative way, in a more cooperative way, but in Mexico we don't have that kind of shared way to work, like forma de trabajar. So it has been hard to find people to have like the same goals, the same ways to work like in a cooperative way. So that's why we are like in a diapers comparing with all the information that you are sharing, and it's enriching for me, because I thought in the same way that Not Bad Days about sharing tools or the bikes, the bags, and that stuff, and the people there said to me, no, how you can do that? Every bike messenger has his own stuff, and I'm looking that I'm not wrong. It's just a different way to work. And in Mexico, we need to do that. And in our education, it hasn't really have like a cooperative way. It's only competitive, and in a capitalistic way. And actually, in Mexico, the cooperatives are abandoned. There's not so much money. Actually, we formalize the cooperative in Mexico City because there they has money for cooperatives, but it's like we are trying to look the way. So that's it, and we can see the video because it's 7 minutes, so it's a lot, I believe.
La dinámica de ser bicimensajera en la ciudad es algo complejo por las distancias que hay que recorrer en el menor tiempo posible, y puede sonar sencillo, pero estás expuesta a varios riesgos y pues la gente no espera que estés llevando un papel importante, una comida o lo que sea. Simplemente luego creen que estás jugando nada más o paseando.
Lo que hacemos es transportar de un punto a otro diferentes cosas.
Ellos mandan por WhatsApp en un grupo que nos tienen como a todos los mensajeros agregados. Los socios mandan como el viaje, la dirección, con quién se recoge, con quién se entrega, cuántos kilómetros, la hora a la que se tiene que recoger y la hora a la que se tiene que entregar. Y pues cada uno quien le quede en ruta o a quien le quede, pues no sé, en horario, lo toma.
Las entregamos desde repuestos de autos hasta pues un libro o un detalle muy delicado como una flor o una caja de un electrodoméstico o de un repuesto de una impresora.
Comentarle que siento que es una muy buena opción hoy en día, dada la ciudad donde vivimos. Es muy eficaz por aquello del tráfico, y pienso yo que es importante porque además generamos empleos, ayudamos a la contaminación, y es un empleo que más bien es una fuente de trabajo, y pienso que es bueno para el país.
En lo personal me gusta mucho, pues porque conozco que es un servicio rápido, es un servicio serio. Me gusta, por ejemplo, saber que antes de, pues que para armar una ruta la mapean y entonces ven las opciones más rápidas, más eficientes, y que tienen su equipo también. O sea, no es nada más andar en una bicicleta con una canastita, o sea, ya traen un equipo, traen una mochila, o si se tienen que cargar documentos, bueno, pues los llevan lo más protegido que se pueda. Si llueve, pues también todo, o sea, tienen todo, hay como una infraestructura que tiene que ver con su trabajo, o sea, se lo toman bastante muy en serio.
Ah, ¿eres una chica repartidora?
Ay, sí vas a poder, ¿no quieres que le diga a otra persona o algo así? Veo muchas sorpresas de parte de la gente mayor que pues sí se puede extrañar, y luego sí, cuando son pedidos de mucho peso, la mayoría de las veces siempre se puede.
Hay que tener un poco más de rigor a veces para ser mujer, porque también puedes estar expuesta a obscenidades mientras montas.
Pues yo creo que más los piropos, no digo que ellos no reciban en sí, pero más nosotros recibimos más pues acoso.
Vas concentrada y no prestas tanta atención, pero sí siempre hay personas que si paras o algo pueden estarte diciendo un comentario desacertado y cosas feas.
Me paré enfrente de su carro y le dije, a ver, o sea, ¿me ibas a nalguear? A ver, nalguéame. Y estaba yo parada enfrente. Y dije, llevas a un niño, o sea, respeta.
Bueno, ahora que trabajo muy en la noche, es como a estas horas, ay, qué barbaridad, luego me dan más propina por eso, digo, está bien, pero sí veo muchas sorpresas.
Siempre ha sido como moverse en bici todos los días, y más, por ejemplo, todo el día como un bici mensajero, pues es una labor como de riesgo por cuestiones de seguridad, por cuestiones de infraestructura vial, por el estrés del tráfico que se genera en las ciudades.
O sea, es voltear constante. No puedes ir en ciclovía y creer que ya vas solo. No. Vas en ciclovía, vas volteando. Vas en carriles centrales, vas volteando. O sea, nunca puedes dejar de voltear porque puede haber alguien más rápido que tú. Entonces, eso, ¿no? O sea, la atención creo que es como lo ideal para la bicicleta.
¿Y por qué elegiste ser bici mensajera? Es más que nada la libertad de andar en bicicleta, la satisfacción de sentirte libre, el sentimiento de libertad, y pues hacer deporte mientras trabajas. Es mi única fuente de ingresos y es sustentable, la verdad es sustentable, y es muy underground. Cuando empezaba hace 4 años me gustaba luego como imaginarme historias y todo, y eso iba pensando cuando iba manejando y ondas así. Ahora ya es como más autómata.
Justo empiezas como a conocer, a ver, y al principio las bicis ya las veía muy varoniles, ¿no? Yo decía, no, como que por eso no me gustaba. y vi una rosa con morado. Dije, no manches, se ve bien bonita. Entonces ahí fue donde dije, no, sí quiero una bici así, o sea, sí me gustó.
También lo que hacemos, el oficio, es gratificante en la medida de que le ayudamos a la gente a liberarse del estrés de andar en un auto o agilizar también, pues, a optimizar su tiempo, ¿no? Haciendo las cosas que en realidad la gente valora. Entonces, cuando tú entregas o cuando tú recoges, ver como la satisfacción de la persona a quien le estás brindando el servicio es algo que me mantiene, pues, persistiendo en esta labor de bici mensajera.
And now we'll welcome Jérôme to present the ABC Collective. Oh yeah, you want to pass by? Yeah.
Hello. I don't have any fancy things, so this is going to be the whole screen for the time. I just wrote down a couple of things about the state of things in Germany, which is a bit of a particular country for a couple of things in the bike logistics world. And ABC has been like a temporary initiative that is kind of like going up and down a little bit to do certain things that I will explain. First of all, I wanted to start a little bit with why is Germany a complicated place? On one hand, bike logistics or bike couriers exist in Germany for a very, very long time, consistently. I mean, everybody knows in the beginning of the 20th century, but constantly in bigger cities in Germany you have bike messengers working since 35 to 40 years, which is a bit special for many European countries, I think. And while we might think this is a nice thing that this exists for so long, it also entails a problem, and the problem is that none of these structures were ever thought in a cooperative way. And that means that all the big companies that have bike messengers, in Berlin we talk about like almost 300, 350 bike messengers in different companies that are entirely self-employed and might be making good money, but they could lose their job the next day, don't get any security, and also have literally no say in the big structure that they're working in. And this goes a little bit throughout the rest of Germany, so that all the bigger cities are in the hands of hierarchical structures with a CEO who is usually also the only owner, and then a layer of higher employees, and then a fleet of self-employed couriers. And all of these companies also make a big amount of their turnover using cars, vans, motorcycles, and trucks. And so now we've seen Spain, where only Somenco Logistica is 11 cooperatives in a very small geographical area. In the whole of Germany, I might be wrong because some things happen up and down, but I counted roughly 14 that could be called somehow doing cooperative work, 5 of which are in Hamburg and Berlin alone, remaining 9 for the rest of Germany. And One part is that creating a cooperative in a legal way is simply very complicated in Germany because we had, as most of you might know, a couple of years of pretty intense fascism. And these people managed to take down everything that was connected to humanity, including cooperative working structures and cooperative working law. And nice governments that we had after this never thought about restoring any of the cooperative work laws that we had from before. So for small structures, it's an almost impossible task to create a cooperative in Germany if nobody decides to bring in 15,000 euros that are also going to be spent. They don't remain somewhere, like it's lawyers, contracts, stuff like this, 15 to 20,000 easily. If you do it very well, maybe you get away with 10. Then you have yearly audits, you have a yearly control, and you're underlying other laws while getting very little back. You don't have like bigger tax cuts or any other special rights. And so we find most of the collectives or cooperatives in Germany still working like they are used from bigger structures. So a couple of people found the company. They do work without hierarchy, but most of the couriers are still self-employed people, and it's a loose connection where people do not feel really having a part in the company. This also counts for Crow up until today. We haven't managed to make a transition until now, and only this year we are finally on the way because we found a model that is the closest to making a cooperative, which would be creating an association that becomes a shareholder in the previously owned company. Then the previous owners go out, become members of the association, and the association remains the sole owner of the company. That needs to be a limited company, and then the association members appoint a CEO. But as you hear, it's a complex thing, so we need to, again, it requires a lot of work. And every cooperative or every collective who wants to do that is a little bit on their own. We don't have much consulting. We don't have any free sources of information where we could go to and easily do it. So again, we are going to book a lawyer and pay a couple thousand euros to get the process started. I'm gonna quickly do a little recap of what happened with Crow in this time. Starting with what two nice people from some Ecologistica said. I think it's very important to, no matter how big the struggle currently is, to look back over your own shoulder and watch where you're coming from. And I forgot that for a while, so thanks for the reminder, because it's been quite the path, and I think it counts for most of you as well. So Crow was founded on the 13th of December 2017, little smiley on the date, and by a group of foodies who wanted to do something out of their own community, most of them working for Deliveroo previously. And so the founding idea was to do something 100% on the bike, categorically no cars, no motors, and no bosses. We also had a no food dogma, because everybody felt a little bit traumatized from delivering food for a big startup. And for over 2 years, we've refused everything that wasn't at least packaged food that didn't need cooling or anything else. And And then slowly from sitting in a common office on a couple chairs, we became the first Omnium dealer, or we took over the Omnium dealership from a bike shop that closed and started building up Omniums between sofa and toilet in a shared space while we tried to get customers for our courier service. And this took a good 2 years until we finally found our own space. And in this own space, we developed a little bit organically in directions where we felt that there is an opportunity. And then started to do some sort of a diversification plan. It's, if some of you have been there last year, I talked a lot about diversification because I think it's an important topic, especially for courier cooperatives to bring themselves safety. So a couple years went by, we were stabilizing, especially throughout the pandemic. We were definitely beneficiaries of the pandemic. We had a high increase in business in all sorts. We had the allowance to work, and the first couple months it meant very big streets empty with your cargo bike. It was pretty nice. So what we started doing was, besides just offering our services like Bürgspressen, just like call us and we go, we pick and we drop. We thought, okay, this is what everybody else is doing. The competition is high. We are roughly 10 messenger companies in Berlin alone, so and most of them a good piece fatter than we are. So we thought, okay, we do something that nobody else does, so it's already exclusively working on the bike. Everybody else somehow decided to get cars. If we do only on bikes, we cannot compete with those who exist since 35 years on bikes being cheaper than us. So what do? We work on cargo bikes exclusively. And so slowly it developed in this direction that we said, okay, we only work on Omniums because then we know the same platform, we know all these kind of things. And then we started getting the customers for this, wine, coffee, these kind of things. And then the wine customers said like, okay, can we also stock our wine with you? And now I'm making a little bit of a jump, but like building Omniums between a sofa and a toilet, we are now talking about storage of 450 square meters where we store 80,000 bottles of wine. And it's a complete different service branch where people work full-time just in the storage and managing and fulfilling orders. And we have a bike shop that does roughly the same. So now the connection to the ABC, sorry if this is chaotic, guys. I just hacked this together in the other talks. In 2023, there was the ECMC in Budapest. And the organization team wrote, as usual, sponsoring mails to most messenger companies. And we said like, yeah, of course, we can also put 200 euros in the box, but for a big championship, this makes very little difference. And together with a couple other people from other cities, we thought, why is it that self-organized messenger events are sponsored by solo owner messenger companies more than self-organized structures in a more prominent way? And so we thought, okay, we do what in Germany nobody wants to do. We connect collectives and create a structure where we can put our little money together and become a much more important sponsor for a European event and promote collective work inside of these kind of events. And we managed to become, I think, third or fourth biggest sponsor of the ECMC in Budapest, which was quite a proud achievement. And this is also where the reconnection with CoopCycle started, because Paul came to the talk in Budapest and we started talking after this. And And since then, ABC is like a sort of loose connection, but it's a first direction into something that is leads into the self-organization of a network that previously didn't exist. There were just collectives and people would know each other from drinking alcohol together on events, but no, not on a organizational, how was it called, intercooperational basis between structures officially potentially being able to do stuff. Roughly around the same time with Crow, we also won over a bigger customer, bicycle parts wholesaler. And we used the ABC network to try and get this customer into the other cities, which partly worked. Cologne and 2 other cities started working with this customer. And we thought, okay, this could be the beginning of creating something like you would now see as Som Ecologistica or similar. And especially exactly in the moment where this started looking good, we had the bicycle crisis. I think it was a European one or probably worldwide one. But it was a pretty vast crisis, and this customer disappeared everywhere, and with this, the silence came back into the group. And we decided to talk about this a little bit because efforts in Germany, I wouldn't say always, but very often seem to have like a spark of motivation, and then somehow it glimmers out because there is no entertaining part that takes it over and promotes this intercooperation. People stay for themselves, people are still self-employed, so I think it has a lot to do with people feeling still structurally alone in their cooperative or in their collective, so that the collective itself is not seen as something of a personal value for the individuals, and so they don't try to interconnect on a structural level. And in Crow, many things have started working differently after we started employing, because then you feel that people feel much more part of the company, they appear more often, they do more voluntary things because they start feeling part of it. And yeah, this is a little bit the state of things in Germany, so it's not easy. Crow is doing well, don't worry, but we are still struggling to get structures on board with CoopCycle, even though all of them see the advantages. And I've been working with CoopCycle last year. We had 4 cooperatives announced to the GA. 1 appeared. Contacts are breaking off. It's very complicated. And so I was hoping that maybe for the ECMC next year, which happens in Berlin, by the way, please come, we will try to reinitiate ABC and probably try and connect it to CoopCycle in an informal or formal way. We don't know. Yeah, that's it, my chaotic overview. Any questions?
Questions?
3, 2, 1, no.
Yeah, so good overview of what could happen in yeah, go for it. in initiatives from Europe. It's always inspirational, at least for me. The idea of this is to bring also what could happen when you have initiatives at a local or regional level. What was also made, like was said, like about the red de ciclologistica, the Cooperativas de ciclologistica, that it could happen also with grants, because grants is not easy, but easiest money. to start a project with. As some ecologistica presented it, it's also it's a good way to support networks, to have public grants. As we express it, for example, the previous Erasmus program was also about making this network differently because it was wider, but it could also, why not support new initiatives for the future. And this was some thinking we had. It's not official, there's nothing made. For example, Erasmus Plus is still a draft. We need to talk about it. But it's just an example of what could be done with grants in the future months or year. For example, we just applied, and we will talk about grants tomorrow, to a grant that is called CoopCycle. It's a named project, it's not the grants project, it's a longer, it's a Interreg NWE for Northwestern Europe. It's a work that that is about optimization routes and the software development of it. And it could benefit to some local partners in Germany and in Belgium and in Netherlands and also in Ireland, but we couldn't find any partners there, especially cooperative one. There was also talking about one moment, like we are struggling with the UK networks because right now the UK is not part of Europe, so it's really complicated to have European grants for them and to include them because we can have like people participating in grants from UK, but they can't have money from us because it's not Europe. So it's a bit cheaty, and sometimes it's like cycles, where perhaps in 2 years, when there will be the next grants cycles, perhaps at this moment the UK will be back in discussions in terms of European grants, but now we don't know. But we had some members in UK, except Earl, that is here at the GA this time. Except of York, also that is part of CoopCycle. There was one in London, there was one in Manchester. And it's something where perhaps we can put a bit of energy back there, because it's still a country that is part of CoopCycle, and it could benefit to see how we can duplicate existing networks like France or Germany or Spain to help them grow in a local level and find how we can perhaps find local ones, local grants, where we can work with CoopCycle to enhance the regional networks. One idea was also to go to Switzerland, because it's a land of cooperativism. You have a different kind of work there. There's a lot of cooperative, I'd say it's like person in Switzerland that support a lot cooperative movements, not only cooperative, but people that are keen to support them. And there's big cooperative in bike logistics there that we could learn from, because they are there for a long time, and they have a lot of knowledge. And Raf, that is representing Switzerland in our annual meeting this year, that is part of Velo Valley, is also somebody that could help us more understand the Swiss network and how it works, and how we can perhaps connect with it one day. And yeah, the next one was Erasmus, but by putting this big part in yellow, the idea is just like we're in Copenhagen because there's a big cooperative here that we onboard recently, Boexpressen, and we had the chance to have Alternativa Kurieren that was part at one moment of CoopCycle. We have also discussions with others, and it's like, why not? I don't know where I'm going, but it's just like we can find a way. We have made mails, for example, from cooperative movements and researchers in Finland that want to help us to onboard people in Finland, because there's apparently cooperative movements and people doing delivery by ski, apparently. And it's like we don't know this part because if we were like French-centered at the beginning and spreading, and now it's perhaps the time to emancipate from the French-centering we have to see a bit up north and or east or I don't know where in the world to see what could be, what is there, how they work, what their culture about cooperativism, and what we can learn from as a federation. So, and it's always regarding grants, because it's where money is to do this, because we know that the bike logistics sector is not where we will find money to do it. So, so yeah, the federation emancipation. So CoopCycle was a French initiative. We are starting to internationalize the project, and it's because we are searching interest in other movements, in other federations existing, but also because people are interested in what we do. We had call with Kazakhstan a few months ago. It was like, how can somebody in Kazakhstan can be interested in CoopCycle's work? And it was really interesting discussion about this. About what they do, what we do, how we can work together, and not only on the software part, because it's like I like to call it like the visible part of the iceberg, but the federation is not only this software, it's much more than this. And we want to see how we can deal with it, and perhaps what we can learn from what the Spanish are doing right now about doing a sub-federation. It's also something as a coordinator that I hear a lot in the federation, that it could be nice to someday emancipate from the French federation, kind of, and to see how we can work to, also I was at the beginning employed, as a French coordinator. It was my first post name. Because the idea was to try to find a way to work in France on commercial activity, on marketing, also on onboarding. And now that I'm more global, I see that I can't do both jobs. But the job of French coordinator could be nice, because there's 27 cooperatives today in France, so there's a real need. The bike logistics sector is expanding in France. There's a lot of competitiveness, and there's something to do, but I'm not really sure, and it's not me to decide. It's just ideas I'm spreading for the next time for the next workshop we will have. Shit, I forgot. It's not something that should be in CoopCycle, but perhaps just separate from CoopCycle, and like the Spanish are doing it right now. It's something that is needed. CoopCycle should help this emancipation from the French network, and it could benefit to the French people, because we can't do everything in CoopCycle right now, and also it can benefit to everyone else, because then CoopCycle will not be a French movement, but will be an international movement. So here it is. And the idea is to have a small break and then talk about how we can organize the work in the federation to talk about all these subjects we are talking about since this morning, or even since the beginning of the annual meeting. And thank you very much.